Hi, let's see a recent FinOps notions, which is focus. So first, the FinOps open cost and usage specification, or focus, is an open specification that defines clear requirements for billing data generators to produce consistent cost and usage datasets. Supported by the FinOps Foundation, Focus reduces complexity for FinOps practitioners so they can drive data-driven decision-making and maximize the business value of cloud. So you can see here that you have Focus specifications. Let's say that you have one cloud provider here, AWS, and another cloud provider here, let's say Azure. And you can also have a SaaS provider or a data center. Then they will all use the same specification here. And then either the FinOps practitioner or FinOps service providers or FinOps tools providers will use the same focus specification, and they will understand usage and cost, quantify business value, optimize usage and cost, and manage the FinOps practice more easily. So Focus normalizes cost and usage billing data from different sources, reducing the amount of work needed to begin FinOps analysis and enabling businesses to refocus that energy on activities that are more strategic and worthwhile. And you can see here the different companies that help creating the focus specification. Now let's see the focus adoption. So before focus, billing data from cloud providers, but also PaaS or SaaS vendors, employed unique terminology, taxonomy, and metrics in their billing file, like the curve for AWS. And this complexity slowed a FinOps practitioner down, as they must spend valuable time ingesting and normalizing all this data before they can even begin analysis. But now, Focus 1.0 was announced in June 2024 and is now supported by all cloud providers here. So you can see that Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, Oracle, and Tencent are supporting the Focus 1.0. Then Focus 1.1 was ratified on November 2024, but you can see that currently this version is not being supported by any cloud provider. Creating the focus export will be quite the same than creating the curve export. So on AWS, simply navigate to Data Export Service and then click on Create Export. So you will get here. Then you have to choose the standard data export and put a name, let's say Focus here. You select the Focus 1.0 with AWS columns, or you can also use the latest Focus versions if you have a new one. And you let all the columns selections here, so you can see that they are a bit different than the curve. Then to query the focus with Athena, you have to select the Parquet format. So inside compression type and file format, you select here Parquet file. And finally, you add your S3 bucket destination and you click on Create. Then AWS can take up to 24 hours to deliver the first report to your Amazon S3 bucket. And also remember that if you want to get the billing data from all your sub-accounts inside an AWS organization, then you need to create the data export from your root account. Then to query focus with Athena, you have to set up manually the same infrastructure than the curve. So here you have the creation of your focus file that will go inside your S3 bucket, let's say into your root account, and then into the FinOps account. You will create here a glue crawler that will update the partitions to the glue or Athena tables. So you will use the glue services to create your tables and database. And then you will use after Athena to run MySQL queries. Then you can visit the catalog workshop AWS curl query library and change the column names to run the queries on your Athena database. You can also visit the focusfinops.org/sandbox to try focus queries in a sandbox environment, such as this one. So they will provide you with a list of queries. Let's say you select all of these columns here from your focus database, and you can get a filter here on date, and you can group the results by some columns. And you will get here the data output with provider name AWS, the billing period start, billing period end, service category, and also total effective cost here. So you can query exactly the same data than with the curve file, but you have also new columns as well, such as AWS account name. So you can retrieve here the sub account name column, which is new. So in the curve, you only have the sub account ID. Also, the Focus 1.0 AWS exports contains the curve formatted with Focus 1.0, along with 5 additional columns from AWS that contain proprietary billing data, such as X cost categories, X discount, X operation, X service code, and X usage type, and you can get them here.